I am making this video for all the kind people in the world, the ones who do the right thing every time because it's who we are, the people who feel heartache the hardest because they've given their all, the people who are made into monsters by those who are not kind. This is for us. We are the Sisyphuses of the world that roll this heavy weight of a ball up a hill over and over and over again. And we wait and we wait for the ball to lessen in weight. Or we wait for the day where we don't have to roll it up the hill anymore. And that day never comes because there's always another burden. There's always another weight that can be placed on us. Another weight we put on ourselves. It is hard being kind. But we are the ones who are working through who we are. We know what we bring to the table. We know what our kindness does. And it is really hard because we see the kindness in other people. To not fall in love with the potential of another human being. We fail to see the reality sometimes because all we see is that potential. It takes someone else that is real, someone who is kind, someone who can see us and love and hate and still want to be there, despite the fact that kindness can be our worst enemy and kindness can be our very best friend. I have had cancer twice. I feel like blinders were removed off of me when that happened. Changed the core of who I am. I was never unkind, but it made me more kind. It made me stop and smell the flowers. It made me realize that money is not everything, that buying the most expensive things was not as important as spending time with people. I went back to school to be a phlebotomist because it's the lowest of the low in a hospital, really. And it's a way to get in so that I could have them pay for me to become a nurse. And I've excelled at being a phlebotomist, and I watched what nurses do, and I don't know yet if I am equipped for that, but I am re-enrolling to be a nurse because my kindness has to go somewhere that makes sense. Because of the path that I have traveled, I have lost many, many people. I have gained so many people. And none of them take that weight from me. I still roll that ball up the hill every day because it's my burden to bear. It's my kindness. It is not easy being kind. I have a failed marriage underneath me because of the differences that we sought on what kindness might have been. And I recently found someone who I still feel is the love of my life. And he displays kindness very differently than me. Because of that, our relationship did not work. And it is more weight added to the stone I roll up that hill every day. And it is not easy. It's not easy to be alone, carrying that weight. Each of us is born with this hole inside of us that we think we can fill with ourselves if we just fall in love with ourselves. There's only so much that weight falls in there and allows you to love yourself. At the end of the day, you still want someone else to love you for that too. You find such exquisite beauty in the whole world. And the whole world finds exquisite beauty in you. And you find that one person that you think makes it all worthwhile. And it doesn't work out. You continue to question if that exquisite beauty has worth. It does. In my failed marriage and any other failed relationship, it's not really a failure. I've gained so much knowledge. I have found lessons. I've found compassion, understanding, and I've found my own vulnerability, that I can actually not be jaded. I found that I can open myself to another human being willingly, wanting. It's a choice. My daughter was born into a life of unconditional love. He was not born into my life as anything. I chose to give him unconditional love. Because it is unconditional, there's no restrictions. There is nothing that binds him to me. He was free to break my heart without any repercussions on my end. And that hurts a lot. Because 5 years from now, if he feels this was a mistake and he wants to come back, I will probably love him just as much, because that's what unconditional means. There's no time limit on it. There's no filling that void of the person who you lost. There is only you loving that person in whatever capacity you can. It is not fair. It is not just. The world is not fair and just because we're kind people. I love myself a lot. I have confidence out the ass. Those were never problems for me. What is a problem, though, is finding someone who can be okay with all of that in me. Be okay with me being the social creature that I am, having the friends that I have, which mostly consist of males. I have lots of wonderful female friends too, but males are blunt and they don't hold grudges as much. So I find myself more comfortable there. Creates problems in someone who is insecure, not as confident as me. I was willing to wait. I was willing to allow him the time to trust me. The way that I fought through the depths of my soul, through all of the trust issues I had, all of the abuse I've endured, all the complications that came from it all. I fought through the depths of my soul to love him. And if you're kind, you have someone in your life that you've done this for, love them anyway. They need it more than you. Kindness goes a long way on a bad day. Makes life tolerable. Brings back humanity when all hope is lost. Be kind anyway, because it's who we are. And when you're kind anyway, whoever that person is that is supposed to fill that void, that hole inside of you, by accepting all of you, they'll notice you more. So stay being kind. Roll that ball up the hill one more time, one more day. Because you matter. You're worth it.